Great stuff. You yourself were on Vayne. Tell us why you went for Vayne, only the second time that we've seen her here in the LCS.
So our playstyle we figured out is that it's very AD-centric, that where I take a lot of farm and I get a lot of kills normally. So we trained a lot of Vayne because that's the carry I can carry the most with. So we trained Vayne and then we banned Caitlyn and Annie, the counters to Vayne, and then we just picked her.
That's quite strong words. Is it the only counters to Vayne? Because that's like very strong.
Right now, there's strong lanes against Vayne, but not straight up counters. I think Vayne is good against Leona, she's good against Thresh, and all AD carries. So if you ban Caitlyn and Annie, then there's nothing that can really shut down Vayne.
Still, there was a lane swap initiated. Did you maybe want to go for the 2 versus 1, but then they showed up as well?
Right, so we said at the start of the game that it's fine if we lane 2 versus 2, we will survive it, we will not get crushed, but it would be better if we lane swap. So we aimed for lane swap, they predicted it, in the end it was fine.
Talk to me a little bit about the early game, because you struggled very early on. Svenskeren and Freddy had a very good synergy. They got a lot of kills together. But how did you transition from that sort of losing laning phase to pulling it back in the mid game?
That's a good question, actually, because I don't know, I was just off the side lane, I was just farming, and then my team was just catching back up. The thing is that I tried to split push in the mid game, but they really focused on me. They always roamed down with 4 or 3 men, which hurt me in the end, as you can see at my score, but it enabled my team to do whatever they want.
And the moment of truth then always is when it comes to those team fights, and we actually got an example of one of those teams fights.
Yeah, so we've got an interesting team fight. It's one where you guys actually went and traded 1 kill for 1 kill. You're actually one of those deaths there. Let's pull this replay up on your screen. It is into the latest stages of the game. We're sitting at about 29 minutes on the clock. Just to set the scene, you guys have already got a 7,000 gold lead. And this is a fight that you started. Let's roll this replay right now. And we see that Svenskeren goes very aggressive onto Peke, thinking they can catch him out. Talk to me what's happening through SK's minds.
Right, at this point we try to go in, but Peke flashes out and he kites out very good. So at this point we say go back, because we don't have Viod anymore. And then we see that they follow us up. So we call back, back, back. And still we call back, but there's a point when Rumble ultis where we say, okay, turn it now, else they will just win this fight. So we turn this fight, we turn now with the Orianna ult. And
well, I want to ask about now, because you definitely try to focus Peke. They're on the right-hand side of your screen. And now you've gone very deep. You don't have your team with you. What was going through your mind?
Well, at this point I thought, okay, they're all low, so I'm just going to go for it. I think my team is going to follow up. But I think the Trundle pillar blocked even my teammates, my own teammates, so they couldn't follow up, and then I died. And then a nice Q from Sven picks up Peke at the end.
Very quickly, as this replay is now ending, what's going through SK's communications at this time? Who's the voice? Was that Sven saying, I'm going to go on Peke? Was that Enrated saying catch? Who's yelling the loudest?
Well, right now, at the start it was Sven saying, okay, I go on Peke. Then it was me calling, okay, we go back, we go fall back. And then it was me calling again that return. So I think we just do it how we feel. Like, if someone feels like it's the right decision, we do the call. And then if it's good, then it's good.
You were talking about how the team is playing very much around you, and is that one of those moments where you feel too much you have to carry, and you think, I just have to go in and kill that one?
I just tunneled on Peke because I saw all my team like full HP and all of them flashing red. At the moment I died, I was like, oh my god, this is way too deep, I should go back, but then I was already dead.
A little too late.
Yeah.
So let's take a step back. SK is definitely performing significantly better as the weeks are going on. We were talking very briefly before we've gone on air now that some of SK's strengths, some of SK's weaknesses, how are you as a team trying to identify those and trying to work with them?
Well, we have an analyst, like every team I guess, and we try to identify the problems as best as we can. Well, the last weeks we didn't do intense focus on the problems. We just kind of played. So now the more the weeks go, we focus on the problems we have, and we try to nail them down to one main problem we can focus on for the next training. We actually we work with a sports psychologist. He will help us with that, and yeah, we just try to nail the problem down, and then we work on it for the next training session.
Very interesting. Well, of course, it paid off immediately here versus Fnatic. Finally, I'd like to pick your brains on the next matchup coming up. Super hot crew as they take on the Copenhagen Wolves. Trevor, what do you think?
I think the Super Hot crew on a bit of a streak. I actually think the Copenhagen Wolves have a little bit more problems in the decision-making that need to work through. So I'm going to give this one to Super Hot crew. I think they're a little bit of the underdogs, but they're playing well enough to get my vote.
Your opinion?
I think it's the EU LCS, so I can predict it.
Well, right.